Choking risk. You take a harmless sip, and suddenly you're locked in a non-stop coughing debuff. Just be glad it wasn't a piece of steak, because if it was, you might have joined the 162,000 other players who die every year from choking on a foreign object. Yep, choking on your consumables is one of the bigger nerfs that comes with playing the human class. So why do we even have this nerf? Well, inside your throat you've got two pipelines, the trachea and the esophagus, one for air and one for food. The traffic controller is a little NPC called the epiglottis. His mission is to route every item to the right place by just closing and opening himself. Oxygen goes down the trachea and solid objects go down the esophagus. Easiest job in the world. Except sometimes the epiglottis is AFK, and that's when you choke. Now this nerf sucks, but it's a necessary evil to unlock the overpowered ability of complex speech. Other classes may have little or no risk of dying when eating, but they also can't talk very well. Chimpanzees, for example, have a reduced risk of choking on their consumables because their voice box is shorter, but then again, they can only growl or scream. Other classes, like the blue whale, don't have this nerf at all. Their airway is structured differently, with breathing and eating systems completely separated. But once again, their speech is limited to loud moaning. We humans are definitely better off with this nerf, but it's still a nerf. We literally have invented a life-saving move just to work around it. Wisdom teeth. This nerf hits almost every human player around level 17 to 25. Right when you think your skill tree is complete, BAM! Your jaw tries to spawn in 4 extra molars. Wisdom teeth used to be a necessary perk in the early human patches, back when players had to grind tough uncooked foods like roots, nuts, and raw meat. But over time, as our diets got softer, our jaws started to shrink. But the wisdom teeth were never patched, so now they show up, uninvited, and severely nerf us. That deep, throbbing jaw pain that somehow radiates all the way to your ear, and of course, the mandatory extraction quest. Even Aristotle complained about them 2,000 years ago. He wrote about elderly players unlocking their wisdom teeth in late game, causing great pain. So not only is this a useless feature, it's been around forever and it's getting worse every update. No built-in vitamin C synthesis. Humans used to have a really good gene called gulo, but one patch around 50 million years ago quietly broke this gene and changed us forever. With the broken gulo gene, our livers can't auto-synthesize vitamin C, a vitamin essential for life. A few other classes got hit with this nerf too, like guinea pigs and bats. But cats and dogs are still on the old patch with the unbroken gene. So because humans can't make vitamin C themselves, they have to get it from food. Now this usually isn't a problem since vitamin C is plentiful in citrus fruits, berries, and peppers. But things weren't always so convenient. Let's say it's the 1500s, and you're on a ship voyage for 3 months. All you eat is salted fish. Yeah, you're going to attract a debuff called scurvy and your body's about to fall apart. Your wounds won't heal. Your gums start bleeding. This life-threatening nerf locks us into an endless citrus grind with important daily fruit quests. 1 citrus a day keeps the scurvy away. And you might not think it's such a bad nerf, but recent changes in the food meta have made this nerf relevant again. In 2022, 188 people in the UK received treatment for scurvy. A combination of increased prices and poor education is the most likely cause. So who knows? Maybe this is the nerf that finally balances the human class. Speaking of nerfs, today's sponsor might help you dodge a few. Thanks to Coupert for sponsoring this video. Coupert is a completely free browser extension designed to help you save money effortlessly every time you shop online. It works on most major browsers like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Opera, and Safari, and it's incredibly easy to set up. By partnering with more than 200,000 stores, Coupert has earned the trust of over 8 million active users worldwide, and for good reason. One of the best parts is the auto-apply coupon function. When you're ready to check out, just click the Apply Coupons button, and Coupert will automatically search for the best available coupon to save you the most money. You don't need to hunt around for codes or waste time testing them yourself. Coupert handles it all in seconds. But that's not all. Coupert also has a really cool cashback feature. When you activate it before you finish your purchase, you'll get a portion of the commission back in your account. Over time, those savings can add up. And you can easily withdraw them through PayPal, a gift card, or even straight to your bank card. It's like getting rewarded just for shopping. So if you want to save both time and money every time you shop, install the Coupert extension using the link in the description below. It's quick, easy, and completely free. And it makes online shopping a lot smarter. Appendix. This little rascal is probably one of humans' most well-known nerfs. It quietly lurks in your gut for years, until it finds the perfect opportunity when you're far from any hospital. That's when it explodes and kills you. Okay, not explode, but it can rupture and spill infected gunk into your abdomen, which triggers a deadly infection called peritonitis. Left untreated, this can actually kill you. A common theme with the other nerfs we've talked about is that they usually come with a buff to balance things out. So if we're walking around with a ticking time bomb inside our stomachs, there must be a pretty good buff to justify it. Well, it's complicated. It turns out the appendix might act as a bacterial sanctuary, a little backup storage for good gut bacteria. So if you get hit with an intestinal debuff, like diarrhea or an infection, the appendix helps repopulate your system faster. But you can also remove it, and you'll most likely be totally fine. So, a ticking time bomb versus a slight recovery rate when you have the runs. Great trade-off. Thank you, developers. Unstable spine. It is estimated that up to 80% of people will experience low back pain at some point during their lifetimes. At any given point in time, about 26% of US adults have low back pain and 14% have neck pain. Your spine technically works, but it's been quietly glitching for thousands of years. Archaeologists have found ancient skeletons with the same collapsed discs and bone spurs we see today, proving back pain is nothing new. Unlike four-legged animals that spread weight across a horizontal spine, humans stacked everything upright and put all the pressure on the lower back. The fact is, we learned to stand upright fast, likely over just 1 to 2 million years. That is an evolutionary speedrun, and our spines never fully caught up. The devs patched it with a few curves and left us with a wobbly S-shaped column that is supposed to hold up our entire upper body. And this Band-Aid solution might have worked when lifespans ended around 40. But now most players make it to their 70s or 80s, and by then the spine is basically falling apart. Modern life makes it worse. Hours of sitting, weak core muscles, extra weight, back pain has become a default setting. Early game, the spine carries you across continents. Late game, it carries you to the chiropractor. Vulnerability to mental illness. The human brain is easily the most powerful piece of hardware in the entire biological ecosystem, and arguably the sole reason why humans are the most overpowered class on Earth. It can map the stars, write poetry, make amazing YouTube videos, and then use all that brain power to spiral into existential dread at 3 a.m. over something that happened 10 years ago. Now, other classes absolutely exhibit mental illness-like behavior. Birds can obsess. Horses sometimes develop compulsive tics. Dolphins and whales, especially those in captivity, have been known to self-mutilate. But what separates the human mind is how it can create suffering purely through thought. Psychosis, for example, has never been observed outside of our species. One recent study suggests that psychosis may be an evolutionary side effect of higher cognition. It affects over 1% of adults, despite being extremely detrimental to survival. This data suggests it may be an intentional part of the system rather than a random glitch. As human thought became more abstract, more social, and more complex, it also became more fragile. And the result is a uniquely human vulnerability, a brain powerful enough to simulate the universe, but fragile enough to collapse under its own calculations. So our biggest strength might also be our biggest weakness, the ultimate human nerf. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the patch notes. I actually have a direct call to one of the developers, so let me know in the comments what you want fixed and I'll let him know. Bye.